Hello friends, welcome to our channel Math Madhu, and today I have brought another lecture for you. And as I discussed in the last lecture, I will be cover OIDC in detail from basic to expert level, and we are going to cover everything. And these videos are going to be really amazing, and I will try to make it more interesting using all my experience and expertise in OIDC. And in the last lecture, we have discussed very basic of OIDC, like we have discussed its intro. And apart from it, I also told you about SSO, and we had seen also studied authentication and authorization, like everything related to OIDC. And in this lecture, we are going to actually implement OIDC, and we are also going to test with the Google. And I will tell you how to register your application in Google. And like we will have our own login page, and in which I have option of login Google. So I will click on Google, and using that, we are going to log in into our dashboard. Please be with me. This lecture is going to be really amazing. So I'm starting. So basically, OIDC, we have three types of OIDC. I hope you have studied basics of OIDC in previous lecture. And if you haven't seen, please see it. You will understand what it is, why we use all these things. So basically, we have three types of OIDC. First one is implicit. Second one is auth code. And third one is hybrid. And each type has its own advantages and disadvantages. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss implicit type in detail, and we are also going to implement this only. And these two we will be covering in our next lecture that we are going to do of OIDC. So for now, we will focus on implicit. If I talk about implicit, it is simplest way. It is simplest way to implement OIDC. Okay, why I told you that it is simplest way? Just because in this we don't need backend. We don't need backend. Basically, I want to say server to server communication. Everything is done in browser itself, and that's why it is not recommended generally to use. It is not recommended because everything is done in browser and user can access your tokens and all details. That's why it is not recommended. It is basically used for single pages application. In single pages application where we don't have backend, we use implicit way of approach, and so we are going to see overall flow of it, like how does it work. So in that we have two things. First one is IDP, that is identity provider. Another one is SP, that is service provider. So if I talk about identity provider, it is basically will be Google, Azure, Okta, all these will be act as a identity provider, and we are going to act as a service provider. So how does its flow work? So basically, service provider make a request to identity provider with certain parameters. All these parameters we are going to discuss now, like certain parameters like client ID, redirect URI, scope, response type, or and nonce. So for implicit, we are going to make a request using these things only, and one by one we are going to see each parameters in detail, like what it is, where can we get it, what we need to put in that. So first one is client ID. Okay, so client ID is basically given by IDP. So if I want to have option of login with Google or login with Okta or login with Azure on my application on my login page, so I need to register first in that IDP. Like if I want Google, I need to register in the Google that I'm going to say told you by when I will demonstrate it, like how to register and all. For now, you just understand that client ID is you can also say it is just like a user ID which is given by IDP. Redirect URI is a callback URI. It will be given by SP. It will be at SP side. On callback URI, it will give us ID token, access token, and what are the claims, and from that we will extract all the claims and further with the proceed with the login part. So we are also see like we are also going to see like what are the claims contained in the ID token and all. For now, just remember callback URI is a URI where it will send us ID token and all. Okay, it will be given by us only. Apart from it, we have a scope. Generally, we see three things in a scope. First one is OpenID, and apart from it, we send email and profile. So OpenID is for basically identity token, email if you want email of the user, and profile which contain first name, last name, and apart from it, overall name of the user, preferred username, and its profile picture. All these things contained in the profile. And apart from it, if you want another detail of the user, like if you want phone number of the user, address of the user, that you can also put here in the scope. But there is certain terms and conditions like that scope it should be supported by IDP. Like in OIDC page, we can see that how many things we can see, how many scope we can get from the IDP. Idle IDP. Like we can get name, family name, given family name is basically last name, given name, middle name, nickname, preferred username, profile, picture, website, gender. I will zoom it so that you will be able to see where. As you can see this table, you can get all these details. If you want, you simply just need to put. So in a scope, you can put all these things. Ideally, we put OpenID email and profile, and there is a response type. So we will have three types of response type. Like we will have, like if I am at IDP, well, I am Google. How do I come to know that user is using which type of OpenID Connect? Like it is using output approach or implicit approach, or we can say hybrid approach. That should be known by response type. So we have different types of response type. We have different values for response type based on our method we are using for OIDC, that we are also going to see. Here I will search. Yes, here we get, we have different response types. Like first one is a code. You can see the response type, values code, that is used for authentication flow, and ID token, which is used for implicit flow, and ID token plus token, that is again used for implicit flow. In that, you will get ID token as well as access token. In hybrid, we have code and ID token together. In apart from a code and token together, code, ID token, and token together. So all these values will be contained in response type, and we are going to send it. So for now, we are using implicit type. So we are basically we are basically going to send in response type ID token and token. And apart from it, nonce is nothing but a random string. You can say that just need to validate at our side, like the request and response was not tampered by anyone. If we get same nonce, okay. So we send all these details on authorized URL of IDP, authorized URL of IDP, and depend on IDP, we have different authorized URL. As you can see on the screen, we have authorized URL of Google, Azure, Okta. So basically, we made a request like this. So what will Google do now? Google will check whether that client ID is present in its database. So when we register our application in Google, Google only issue us client ID. So it will check whether the client ID is present in its database or not. If not, then Google is directly going to reject. So it will check client ID. Apart from it, also check redirect URL, whether the redirect URL is right or wrong. When we are registering our app, we need to put redirect URL here. Okay. And then it will check a scope, like what are the demands of the service provider. So it will check a scope, it will check response type, whether in which flow it need to proceed, whether to opt for implement, implicit, or you can say hybrid. So for now, it will see response type as what we say ID token and token. So it will be output approach, and then it will get nonce, and it will prepare ID. So after getting all these information, Google is going to generate identity token, that is ID token, and if we demand for access token, it will also generate that, and then it will make a request at our callback. That is will be our callback URI, and in fragment it will not send data in a query string. That you need to remember. It always send you ID token and all in fragment. So it will send here, and from there I will be extract all the claims, and proceed with the login part. So I hope you have understood the flow. Like what is the overall flow? First, we make a request at IDP with certain parameters. IDP responded back at the callback with certain parameters, like I told you, ID token and signing algorithm and all that. Okay. So I hope you have understood till now, and we are now we will see that what are the claims in ID token. Okay. We will see ID. So as you can see, this is the basic general structure of ID token, in which we have issuer, like if we get from it Google, there will be google.com. We have subject is a unique identity again. Audience is same as a client ID, knowledge that we will going to send, that will be back at our end. And apart from it, expiry time, ID token expiry time, and all these things. This is the basic structure, and apart from it may also differ based on our scope, like what we want. So I have made demo of it, like I'm going to show you. So I hope you have understood till now, and now we are going to demonstrate it. First, I'm showing you like what I have done. So I made a simple Streamlit app in which I am making a request at authorized URL of IDP, in which I send response type equal to token endpoint. Why token endpoint? As I already told you, because we are using implicit flow. Apart from it, client ID, redirect URL, in this case, we will send OpenID, profile, email. In nonce, we will send random value, anything you can send here. Okay. So for now, we are going to register in Google. Okay, and click on first one, OIDC Connect Authentication, and in that go to Google Cloud Console. Okay, so you will redirect to this page, and then click on for registering a new one. We need to click on Client. So we'll click on Client, and as I have already made a few apps. If you want to create a new, click on Create Client, and in application type, we will select web application, and name I'm going to do it for now Mathswala, Surat Mato, and WSM. And here we need to add redirect URI as I have told you earlier. So our redirect URI will be basically as I made here callback URI. Registration is done, and we also got certain things like client ID, client secret we don't need for implicit. And if you want, you can also download metadata from Google where you can get all the URLs and all. Like I see in metadata, you got certain things like client ID, and apart from project ID, auth URI, which is important, where we are going to make a request at. Apart from token URI that you will need for other approach of OIDC like hot code and hybrid. And apart from it, you also got client secret, and if you need implement certification part, that is a very advanced level of the OIDC that also you got here. Okay, so we are going to copy client ID from here, and we will post in, we will put in our app, replace it with a new one. Okay, so we will save it, and we will visit our login page. Okay, so this is our login page, and here you can see in our login page I will have option of either you can directly log in like putting username and password, or you can choose any authentication provider like Google or Okta that I have added for now. So I will do login with Google. So after that, what Google will do, it will, so for that I will need to enter credential in a Google, as I have already logged into account here. So I will choose any one of that, like I'm choosing time pass for now. So what will it will do, it will send ID token, and then as you can see, we are successfully logging into our dashboard, and you can also see my username, time pass, and for give you the basic like all the information like what we got in ID token. I have also printed ID token on the front screen, so we'll copy that, and we will see what are the things contained in it. So for that, you need to go to jwt.io and just paste your copied token. As you can see, what does it has sent? It has sent issuer, and apart from its client ID, audience, subject, email, and you can also see name, time pass. This is just a basic ID of Google which I have made just for do test and all these things only. So from that, I what we at S3, what we need to do, we need to verify audience, like whether that client ID is right or not. And apart from it, we also see the whether that token we have got, it is signed or not. As you can see, that we need to see. And apart from it, you will extract username and certainly do login into our dashboard. And after that logout, we will be redirected to again our login page. So this is the demo of OIDC. We have used implicit flow, and you can see we have successfully connected with the Google. And in the next lecture, I'm going to connect with the Azure as well as Okta. I hope you enjoyed today's lecture and you have studied. Like previously, you must have doubt like when you go to the Facebook and you have option of login with Google, you click on Google and you log in, but you don't know how does all these things work. But now I hope you have basic idea like how does all these things work. And thanks for watching the lecture. And if you like the lecture, please like the video and also subscribe to our channel and also share with your friends also. Again, thanks for watching the lecture.